Who says adorable seasonal decor cannot be affordable? Not me. Today I'm gonna share with you how to take some Dollar Tree items, make them over with your vinyl cutter, and make some beautiful pieces just in time for Easter. This is Whiskey and Whit. My name's Whitney, and on this channel I love to share DIYs and budget home decor, so if you love that too, be sure to hit subscribe down below so you don't miss a future Whiskey and Whit video. The other great thing about today's video is that it is a collab with my friend Lisa over at Dollar Mom. I originally met her through Instagram, and she also has a YouTube channel. She makes some amazing DIYs. If you love my content, you will absolutely love hers too. So after this video, be sure to go down to the description, head over to her channel, and see her Easter DIYs. Before we hop right in, I want to let you guys know I'm using my Cricut Maker 3 today. However, you can make these projects on any Cricut machine or any vinyl cutter for that matter, Silhouette or other brands. I've got a ton of free cut files for you over on my blog that's linked down in the description. And if you're looking for more Cricut tutorials, I've got a full educational playlist down below that will help you with all of the terminology and things I'm doing today. The first project is going to be this little bunny sign. I searched high and low for this sign because I had one in the fall with a pumpkin and I loved it. And so I did the same thing. I created a file for Easter. It says Happy Easter with the little glyphs on the end of happy. I just cut it out on some black matte vinyl and applied it with Expressions vinyl transfer tape, two of my favorite things to use. It's easy to apply, and because I didn't stain this sign, I am fine to use a clear transfer tape versus a paper. We'll talk more about paper in a minute. But this is so easy to put together, and look how cute and high-end this is. It looks great next to flowers for spring, and it's great to fill a space where you need some height. Project number 2 is coming from the kitchenware section. We're grabbing 2 bamboo items, a spoon and a turner, and we're going to take some masking tape to tape off the bottom and then paint one purple, one pink. The masking tape is going to give us a nice clean line. You could also use painter's tape if you have that. Once those are dry, we're going to take off the masking tape, and then it's time to make these things super cute. So I grabbed some of these ornament sets, carrots and bunnies. Carrots, super straightforward, and then I spray painted the bunnies just because it was a lot quicker and easier with some flat white spray paint. Then in Cricut Design Space, I used the free font White Love, which I will link down below. I've been loving it lately, and I cut out Hippity 3 inches wide by 1 inch tall, and Hoppity, again 3 inches wide by 1 inch tall. Then I applied my bunny and my little carrot with some hot glue. I tied them together with some Dollar Tree little gingham ribbon, and these things are so cute. If you want them to stay a certain way, you could hot glue them this way, but I want to be able to display them however I want. They are so cute. They'd be cute on a kitchen rack if you have a little towel rack anywhere that you could hang them. These are super fun, and you could customize them any way you want. Project number 3 is starting in the craft aisle at Dollar Tree. I saw these larger crosses this year, and I thought this would be great for Easter. It's unfinished wood, and the only prep you have to do with this is to remove the sticker. Super easy. I took it outside and I stained it with a lighter stain than I'm used to, weathered oak, but I think it turned out perfect. It's more of a gray, lighter tone. I stained the entire thing, let it dry overnight, and then I added this decal that says He is Risen. I did something similar with a smaller cross for last year's Cricut Blank video. I loved it, and I wanted to do something a little bit bigger. I wanted to keep it minimalist, but I wanted to add a little bit of texture, so I just wrapped some jute twine at the bottom, and this thing is beautiful. I absolutely love it. It looks really high-end, especially if you're looking for something that will go in your modern farmhouse decor that will also give a nod to the religious meaning of Easter. This next one is super underrated for blanks at Dollar Tree, but I love these little appetizer plates. It's as simple as finding a file that you want, and for Easter I went with the bunny. I just cut this out, and this file I purchased from Design Bundles. It was just a couple bucks, but it was pretty easy to weed. The thing with intricate items like this is you want to make sure it weeds well, and this weeded pretty decently well for me. Don't get too into it if pieces don't stick down. It doesn't have to be perfectly weeded, just as long as they're not super main pieces. Some of those little ear pieces are fine. Then I'm just applying it with regular transfer tape to my plate, and it is done. Now, obviously, these are not dishwasher safe, and they're also not food safe. However, they look really cute on top of these melamine plates I got for a couple bucks at Target. How cute with the little napkin, my dollar spot bunny. These would make such a cute table setting for Easter. Now, it would not be a Dollar Tree Blanks video if I didn't break out some of these reception signs. So I'm going to do 2 today. I painted one with 2 coats of white and one with 2 coats of black, and that gave me blank canvases to work with. Now these again are files that we will add to the set for all of these. I've got files available on my blog for pretty much every season. Easter was, I think, the last one I had to do. So for the white one, I decided to do a Cottontail Family Farms. This file, all you have to do is size it to 11.5 inches wide, cut it, and you are good to go. I'm using the paper transfer tape so I don't rip up any of that paint. And I thought this was a fun take on it. You could leave this up through spring. The only Easter nod is Cottontail, so if you put a bunny by it, it will kind of lean that way, but you could easily have it for spring decor as well. For the black one, I cut it to 10 inches wide so that I could add some of my little carrots and bunnies, and I'm going to use these throughout the video because I ended up painting the entire pack of 14 of each. All it takes is a little bit of hot glue to secure it in place, and you've got a cute little chalkboard style sign. Every bunny welcome. I love that. It's super cute. You'll see that later on in the video as well. Project number 6 is with these cute unfinished wood bunnies. I think Dollar Tree really upped their bunny shape this year. They don't look as cartoony and they look more high-end to me. I stained it in the color Briar Smoke, and unfortunately Dollar Tree sometimes gets wood glue on their unfinished wood pieces and it doesn't stain as well. So my fix here was to put on some masking tape and do a two-toned bunny. I ended up doing the white on the top half because that's where the icky two-tone was. And then Dollar Tree has some awesome pom-poms for bunny tails this year. I just grabbed a pack and then I added one with hot glue. And I am using the back of this bunny. As you can tell, it's not 3D, and I just liked that better. The front has 3D ears and a 3D tail, but because of what I was doing, I went with the back. Then I cut this file, just simple Easter blessings in pink. I ended up doing this 7 inches wide. It will fit right in the center of your bunny, and this thing can either be hung up with the jute hanger that it has or leaned up against some fresh flowers. It goes really well with my Target Dollar Spot large tulips, and so I think this is going to live here. This next one is an oldie but a goodie, and I love to do this every year. Every time I see these come out, which is earlier in the season, like now, you want to make sure you grab these because they will go fast. I grabbed one for my niece, one for my nephew, one for a little cousin, and one for Finn, and I'm cutting this out on heat transfer vinyl. So there's a shiny side and a dull side. You put your shiny side down. You want to make sure you select mirror in Cricut Design Space and cut it out. Once it was weeded out, I just used my little Cricut mini press, and it was set to the medium setting, but you could also use an iron. You don't need a heat press for iron-on vinyl, hence the name iron-on. You can just set it to your cotton setting without any steam, and I pressed it for 25 seconds on each section of it. You have to do a couple because of the mini press, but your heat transfer vinyl is going to go great onto that ear. And then I was able to just stuff it, and Finn's Easter basket is ready to go. So I got him this Eric Carle book from Walmart, as well as these cute little Crocs for the pool from Walmart. And then from the Target Dollar Spot, I grabbed him some Easter chalk, sidewalk chalk, as well as some bubbles. This thing is ready to go and super affordable and adorable. The next couple projects are going to be carrot themed. So project number 8 is going to start with these color your own ornament eggs. We're going to start by painting the bottom orange and the top green. You want to make sure you do it to either side because it's going to be a double-sided tag when we're all done, and make sure you get the edges. Once the green and orange is done, we're going to add some lighter color polka dots. So here I'm just using a mixture of the orange I painted the bottom in, as well as a little bit of white to lighten it up. And I'm using a small paintbrush, twirling it around and creating some polka dots. You could definitely sketch them on before you do this, but I think it adds to the whimsy if you just wing it. Now is where the magic happens. Take a paint marker and outline the bottom in black, stopping right at the top. Then we're going to do some non-connected lines on the top green piece. Then I'm going back through with a white paint marker, adding a little bit of effect to my light orange circles as well as my top green area. After that was all dry, I just cut out Finn's name in that same white love font from before. It matches his Easter basket as well. And I'm using my paper transfer tape so I don't rip up any of that paint. Easy peasy, add some jute twine, and these things look so high end. I love them so much. I also did it with Easter eggs, and I can't wait to put these on hostess gifts. Also, it's mind-blowing you can make an 8-pack for $1.25. Now we're sticking with that same process for the next project, and we're going to use 2 small carrots, but we're going to fill the hole so that it doesn't look like an ornament anymore. So this is just wood filler. You just apply it on either side. It's kind of like a putty. Let it dry, and then you can sand it down. You want to make sure that it's a little bit kind of piled on, so when you go to sand it, it's going to be flat. Then we're going to paint and decorate both the 2 smaller ones as well as the big carrot the exact same way. But this time I decided to use the bottom of my paint bottle to create my polka dots. I also made sure to have some of my polka dots hang off. I think that added to the whimsy and overall effect. I had to do 2 coats of that lighter orange just to cover the pencil marks, but when I did the exact same process on a larger scale that I did on my smaller tags. So outline in black, add some different details, and then finish off with the white paint marker. Once everything was dry, it was time to assemble. I just cut out this really simple file that says, "Welcome to our carrot patch." You could easily add the names like I did on the tags for your kids or everybody in your family. I just added some glue, glued them on, kind of staggered at the bottom, and then added some jute twine back on to hang it. I have wanted to do this kind of door hanger painting style for a long time, and I finally got around to trying it. Thank you to all of the Pinterest tutorials that I checked out. There are probably 5 different ones. I took bits and pieces from each, and I absolutely love how this turned out. This will not be the last time I do this. I'm hopping in right now to say thank you so much for sticking with me. We've got some more projects on the way, but if you made it this far, be sure to include in your comment the words Peter Cottontail. That lets me know that you stuck with me throughout this video. I was recently perusing the Crafter's Square section and found this box of like random cut pieces. The box said fake snow on it, but I ended up finding this small cutting board, and then I grabbed one of these gray little whisks from the kitchen section. So I got it home, and it was pretty well sanded down, so I didn't have to worry about that. I just stained it with dark walnut stain, and I decided it needed a hole at the top like a typical cutting board that you would see in this shape. So I just took my drill and a clamp to keep my hands back and stay safe, and just drilled a quick hole in the top so that I could put some jute twine through it. This little file I cut to 2 inches wide by 3 inches tall, and it is centered around carrot cake. That is my absolute favorite kind of cake, so I knew I had to do something with carrot cake. So freshly baked carrot cake, grab a slice, and then I finished it off with some more of my little painted cutouts. I would suggest if you get one of those, paint a bunch of them because they're nice to have on hand to just embellish things with. The last step was to take some jute twine, string it through both my hole and my whisk. I used a little dab of hot glue so that my whisk wouldn't fall in front of my words, and then I tied it on and it was good to go. This is going to be perfect in a tiered tray setup or just as a little vignette in a kitchen area. It was super quick and easy to make, and honestly this is something that you would see for probably 15 to 20 bucks on Etsy, and you could totally make it yourself. The next 2 projects are going to feature one of my favorite Dollar Tree blanks, and it is this little tray. This thing is great for signs and a ton of other things, and it takes stain beautifully. So I stained 2 boxes in Briar Smoke by Varathane Stain, and then I decided for the first one that I was going to do an Easter photo frame. So I cut out Easter 2022 in a font that I liked, and then I applied it to the center bottom of my tray. And now this is on the back, so you're only doing the back. You don't have to worry about the inside opening. But once everything was applied here, I just added 2 bunnies on either side. Keep in mind that they are facing each other, so you would have to paint 2 different sides. A little hot glue on a small clip I had left over from a mystery box. I think Kristen K sent these to me, so thank you, Kristen. Glued it on to the box and then tied off some jute twine on the carrot as well as around my little picture frame. Now this thing fits 4x6 pictures. You're just going to want to trim them down. And because I don't have an Easter picture physically from last Easter even, or obviously this Easter, I decided to use this fun picture of Alex and I at Disney World in 2018 to show how it looks. But this is super nice. You can switch it out, and if you don't want to date it, you could just put Easter or Easter Bunny. For our next project, you're going to need that same crate and you're going to stain it the exact same way with whatever stain you want. I did briar smoke. Now this file I got from Cricut Designs. I love that website. They have a mixture of both free and paid SVGs. They have a ton of blanks. I've ordered from them before. This is not sponsored. I just really like the work that is done by Cricut Designs. This is a file that says, "Welcome to our home," but the O is a little bunny. So I cut out most of it in white. And then I decided to use some Dollar Tree buffalo check vinyl to cut out the little bunny. And I decided that I wouldn't try this on anything too intricate because it's going to drive you nuts. But what I like to do is put it on the washi setting, and that really helps with the cutting process of the Dollar Tree vinyl. Now I could apply it just with my hands. I didn't have to worry about transfer tape just because of how simple the shape was. I tied off some jute twine at the top as well as a cute little carrot. See, I am putting those things on everything, tying it up, giving it a double knot, and this is so cute for a vignette or a tiered tray. It's super light. I love it because if Finn were to pull this down or anything, it's not going to cause damage to him or anything in my house. It's not going to break the sign, and it's also not going to break the bank. This last one is a beautiful door hanger that I made from this egg wreath form as well as another one of those unfinished bunnies. The first thing I did was wrap my wreath form in some burlap. You could definitely use Dollar Tree burlap for this. I had some from Hobby Lobby that I got on super sale in the fall. I think it was 99 cents a roll, so it was even cheaper and you get a lot more. So keep an eye out for sales like that. But I just wanted to wrap this around to keep the egg shape, but to also cover all of the wire, kind of give it more of a rustic, natural look. Once it was all wrapped, I added some hot glue and finished it off at the end, and then kind of figured out where I wanted to put my bunny that was stained in briar smoke. And then I also glued on another tail like I did before. Recently I found these at Dollar Tree. They are just some laser cut flowers. Of course, I liked 2 from the right pack and 1 from the left pack, so I had to buy both. And there's 6 in each, which I thought was a good deal. The only thing is they have some like dark residue, like all of that came from these cutouts. So they're cute, but it was just weird that it had that like fallout essentially. I painted the leaves green, and then I grabbed some fun spring colors to paint the rest of them. They were really easy to cover if I had just like a little thin paintbrush. And once those dried, I just used some hot glue to hook them around the neck of the bunny to kind of look like a little floral wreath around the neck. Once those were all in place, it was time to finish it off with a little bit of greenery and a decal. So this is a $1.50 pick from Walmart. I all day will stick with Walmart florals versus Dollar Tree. They are just about the same price, and I just think they last a lot longer and they look a lot more high-end. I'm taking the lavender as well as some boxwood that I cut up with my miter shears and sticking them just in pockets around the outside of the wreath form, and then I'm taking hot glue to stick my bunny down onto the burlap. My last step was this decal. It says "Every Bunny Welcome." I thought this would be really cute on a front door, and I just applied it to the center of the bunny. Again, I cut this 7 inches wide, same as that Easter Blessings one I did earlier. Give that a good squeegee to apply it. Add some more jute twine so you can hang it back up, and this thing is super cute on the front door. I also love you could change the colors out for how you wanted. Those flowers would look beautiful just in white, or the bunny in white, and then leave the flowers as unfinished wood. You could do different flowers if you're more of a peonies person or a tulip person. You could customize this all the way around. The other thing I wish I did and I didn't was to fill that ear with wood filler before I stained. So if I could go back and do it again, I would. So do as I say, not as I do. Be sure to head down to the comments and let me know your favorite project. I love reading them and learning what you guys are liking the most. And also up next for you is Lisa's video over at Dollar Mom. Be sure to check that out. You can also check her out on Instagram as well. I will link all that information down below. A huge thank you to her for collabing with me on this video. If you're new and you came over from Lisa's channel, be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a future Whiskey and Whit video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!